We're absolutely buzzing. This is the first of the live interviews over on the Instagram, and today we have the wonderful Tove, who's going to kick it off with this. So go ahead, I'll hand it over to you. Tell me who you are and what is your story.
Alex, here's the thing. You know how people say they survived stuff? We've all gone through something that's really affected us. We've all had stuff in the past where we've thought, you know what? I don't know if I can make it past this point. I don't want to just be a person who has survived trauma. I want to remember what it's like to live in joy. So in other words, if you didn't have a great childhood or if you've had some trauma since then, many of us end up kind of lugging our story and our trauma with us, retelling that over and over again. And so we keep enlivening that pain, Alex. And so I realized I was doing that. I really was doing it because I had so many things. I had a near-death experience. I was an Ironman athlete and I was training in the pool. We'd been out for a run in the morning and in the afternoon I was swimming. I was swimming 80 lengths. Now you won't believe how thirsty you get when you swim. It's the weirdest thing. You're around all this water, and you don't stop. And then I did stop. And this whole blackness came in. It meant that I had to go under cardiac investigation because, why would your heart stop? So I was rescued by my best friend. We were actually swimming in the same lane. And I went under quite a lot of investigation and ultimately had a dual chamber pacemaker fitted. Now, I was in my 40s, so I felt devastated, and I went into a bit of a depression because here's the thing. When you're an athlete, you get a lot of endorphins from the training. You feel good. You got dopamine because you're hitting your targets. And all of those feel good things just kind of plummeted for me. And I also got this depression that I had, my vision as an Ironman wasn't the machine Ironman. Do you know what I mean? It was the athlete, and I had to detrain. And so, and it wasn't the first time I'd been depressed. I'd been depressed before. So I knew I had experienced those symptoms, the darkness, the apathy, the fatigue, the pain, and all of that stuff. And when this came back again, I was like, I want to do something different. I don't want to keep retelling that story. And I remembered I was once singing at a marketing expo and I walked off a stage and there was this huge eruption down at another one of the halls. And I thought, I have to see who's this. Who is this person? And I went there and there were all these men in business suits howling, laughing, tears running out of their eyes, doing It was, and I was like, what is this? What are they doing? And I read, you go outside, I went out the room and it said laughter yoga. And I was like, what is laughter yoga?
Oh, stop. That's a divine appointment.
There you go. And I was like, this looks like gold. And she was a really diminutive, small little lady, and she had the whole room absolutely in stitches, laughing, playing. And, these were serious businessmen. And I was like, whoa. And they kept clapping and laughing. And I thought, I like this. I like this. Yeah. But sometimes, I don't know if you're like me, Alex, sometimes I sit on a good idea for like a while. Right?
Yeah. Yes, because I have 10 million every day.
Exactly. I think those of us who, have the ADHD inclination kind of go, I like this, I like that, I like this. Yeah. Anyway, I sat on that idea for 20 years. And then eventually, in fact, I was researching for this book of mine called Mind Over Matter. This is a book I wrote, during lockdown. I thought, I've got some time, I'll write a book. And that's where I rediscovered laughter yoga and the guru who created it is a medical doctor in India. And I thought, gurus tend to fade and then you don't get access to them. And I didn't even know if he was still alive. And because of COVID, they were going online. So I contacted him and he said, well, we're doing an online leader training. You could do that. I did the leader training. I did inner spirit. I did all of these trainings. Ultimately, after lockdown, I went and became a teacher, and all the while I was working with the guru because he had written and then he wrote the foreword to my book, which is just amazing. Yeah, and he says, yeah, Tove has a wonderful way of opening hearts to new possibilities, and I was like, that's what it is. So it's the heart. And so I became a teacher, and then he invited me to become a master trainer. So now I certify leaders and teachers. But what is it?
What is laughter yoga? Tell me what it is.
I would say it's the world's friendliest workout. So what we do is we blend intentional laughter, and we do that with breath work and various stretches. So it's not like a traditional yoga that you might see. The yogic part is to do with the breath, but essentially here's what we know. The subconscious doesn't differentiate between laughter that you see and laughter that, is spontaneous. But here's the thing. There's not a lot of spontaneous laughter going on in this world right now. So why not? This is the thing that I think's magical about it. We can cultivate, curate, create laughter in any moment. And you might say, oh yeah, but it's not appropriate right now. Or I had a woman, do you know what? Here's the thing. At Happy Fest last year, and I've just launched my laughter cards. Later, I want you to pull a card, okay? Think of a number between 1 and 40. So I just launched the laughter cards. And I was doing card readings with various people, and this lady said, I'm not coming. So I said, it's okay. You don't need to worry. Come and visit if you want to. And she said, but I'm curious. I said, come. She came back and she said, here's why I'm not laughing. And I said, tell me. And she said, I just lost my mom. Now, I lost my own mom, and she died in my arms.
Oh gosh, I hear
that. That was life-changing for me.
Yeah, sure.
Because after that, I thought, you know what, I'm never going to laugh again. I cannot, if you think of it, there's always been a day where your mom's been in your life, right?
Yeah.
So the day that she's not in your life, I just thought, that's it for me. And so I could access the pain that she felt, genuine empathy. And I just let her speak. And I said, you know what? We don't laugh away grief, but laughter helps us to process grief. Would you like me to show you how? And she said, I really do, because I'm punishing myself for, all of the things that I could have or should have. So I said, first of all, never should on yourself. And then we started, and she began to laugh, and she let go, and I could see she gradually started to genuinely get joy in her face. And she kept walking past my stand at Happy Fest, and she went, I'm still laughing. And I was like, you keep going. And it was beautiful to see, because that was a live, lived experience of someone who was so sad, so full of grief, so reluctant, and who was suffering as a consequence. And through the laughter, she felt lighter. So this is a really amazing thing. So what laughter yoga does is it doesn't tell jokes. So we're not worried about jokes or comedy. What we do is we laugh intentionally.
I'm just going to say, it's like you're changing your frequency. That's what I was getting there. That lady's in that dark, heavy frequency. Then after you're breaking that cycle there in that moment, so you're elevating yourself.
You change your frequency, and you literally create more energy in the body. Try it with me. Give it a go. Let's go. But I admire the observation, because you recognize it. And that's so important, because we are living in an energetic universe.
100%.
We operate through energetic systems. And if our energy is low, we will feel low. And it's hard for people to lift their energy, knowing that they still have these issues in life. There are still financial problems. There are still relationship issues. There may be an illness or prognosis or something, or some kind of shock that's happened. That is an ongoing reality of life. What laughter yoga teaches us is we don't solve the problem, but we can help ourselves handle the problem. And as you said, Alex, to raise our emotion, raise our energy.
And we're not spiritually bypassing the issue, which I feel goes on a lot within the spiritual, personal development, where it's nearly like you're bypassing the issue. You're not. You're setting it aside for a second. You're lifting, breaking that cycle in the mind.
Aside from spiritual energy, we're also dealing with our nervous systems. So to regulate the nervous system, we know that you can't think yourself calm. So when somebody says calm down or cheer up, that's a no-go start, because the system, the physiological system is stuck. And so why I like laughter yoga is there's a lot of movement, and there's a lot, and that helps us because the mind can't do it. It's something that's happening in a subconscious location. And if we move the body, the mind will then release ultimately. So it's also a great nervous system regulator too.
Yeah, fast. And yes, that's exactly where a lot of people don't see where that, heaviness comes from and stuff as well. So it's not just the mindset, it's a physical feeling as well, isn't it? Yeah. Right, let's do a wee bit of laughter or whatever here.
Okay, send your hands towards the camera, your camera lens like this, and then inhale to your chest, and then spring your arms up and run and just laugh.
Like, I laugh all the time anyway. I'm hectic. I have a laugh at the baddest things. I'm like, I have to go to here because I'm going to get shouted at.
It is so good. But it feels better to laugh, right? Rather than getting stressed. That's our thing. So it's important for us to recognize that laughter helps us. So yeah, we really appreciate everybody who's jumping on the live. Thank you for being there. Yes, you're welcome.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you. So, okay, so I guess, can anyone do it then? Can anyone do the laughter? As long as you can laugh.
Well, think of this, the spectrum. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, I was at a care home, and as you know, in a care home, we're dealing with people who have limited mobility. They don't have the same movement in their body that they used to have, and also their minds are full of, their regrets, or possibly there might even be some Alzheimer's or dementia setting in. So they've got challenges, right? But we go in and we do laughter yoga with care homes to go to those people and show them. So for seniors, some of them just sit. I mean, I remember the one lady, and she had a little lion with her who the nurses had given her at the NHS when she'd been at hospital. And she said, do you know what I call my lion? And I had a little thought about what I might call it. And she said, yes, it's called Aslan. So I said, well, I mean, he was born in Northern Ireland. Let's call the lion Aslan. So I said to her, do you know that we have a laughter yoga exercise that's called lion laughter? So she said, so I went, do it with me, breathing in. Get your lion paws out, stick your tongue out and laugh. And she loved it, and she held her little lion and the others. So yes, so as far as seniors, we do laughter yoga. We do corporate sessions. This is great for conflict resolution, for team collaboration. And it helps. One of the big issues at work, Alex, is people miscommunicate, and so it causes conflict. And so we help them through better communication. We resolve the conflict. And it's so amazing to see colleagues laughing together. They connect better. And then they're not so difficult with each other. They kind of help each other. It's amazing. With communities. And do you know what I adore doing? Is laughter yoga with kids. Kids absolutely adore it.
I'm sure, I can imagine. And they're so innocent.
They are, and it's a good way, Alex, to stop them from bullying each other. Do you know? Rather than saying, don't do this, we go and we care and we laugh. And so through the laughter, we can show them, hey, we care about each other, we care about the planet, we care about animals, and this is fantastic. So that kids grow up with, instead of being so screen dependent, it's something very unusual to be able to get kids off their screens. I mean, even babies are on screens. You've seen it.
I know, it's mental, it's mad, isn't it?
And so
I know they're very educational as well, so it's like finding the balance, but they're still learning.
Yes.
It's like you can read a book, you've been stuck in a book all day, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yes, overstimulating.
So what we want to see is when you are just down at that point, we notice that from an occupational therapy perspective, the muscle development is inferior. So getting them to play, open their chests, even just to open their eyes and see more of the world. And so we do these things like we'll just laugh at the window, laugh at the tree. So it's just so delightful. We can laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh for as long as we like. When you go to a comedy show, it's like, aha, and then it's finished. So this is why laughter yoga is so amazing, because there's no end to the laughter, and we just breathe and laugh, breathe and laugh. It's incredible.
Class. I love it. And so do you do like classes, like weekly classes, or is it just like workshops? You go and do workshops, or what way do you work?
Such a good question, because that does ask, you know, how accessible is it? Where can people get to it, Alex? But thank you. Yes, I do. I'm booked to do sessions. I'll speak at events. I'll do stuff for, you know, huge conventions and things. But I do have, in fact, it's Monday meditations at Merville House, which is in Newton Abbey. And on a Monday, we just come together. I mean, it's an £8 class. I really just keep it very chilled. It's not an expensive thing, because it's my passion to get people to see that laughter lifts them up. So Monday nights at Merville, you can book it on Eventbrite, or there's links in my bio. And it's really great, because part of laughter is, once we've done all the laughter, we also do a beautiful relaxation. Because we want to regulate. So just regulating after all that explosive, playful fun, that's great. And I also do a laughter club at the Arzen Collective in Lisbon. And one of the funniest things I do, and I love this, is doing for hens parties, because that becomes hilarious. But yeah, so and I do private bookings as well. And I coach people, so I'm happy to show people how to use it as a well-being modality in their own lives, because I think that's important, you know, rather than medication and stuff, that the body knows how to reset. It's a wonderful thing. So yeah, it's a great passion of mine, as you can tell.
I can tell. And the question that's coming to my mind there is, have you ever spoken to like comedians about this? You know, like, yes, they're making people laugh intentionally, but you're doing it from a different angle.
Yes.
You know, have you ever had this conversation with?
Yeah, actually, I've had it a couple of times where comedians will say to me, "You got more laughs than I did."
Yeah.
And I said, well, I could certainly make them last longer. I have a dream of mine, and the dream that I have is to have shows where I teach people just briefly how to do laughter yoga, just like I've shown you, and then to do kind of like a observed life comedy show, like most comedians are observing life, but then to, I would say, get more laughter out of people, because now they've learned to just laugh and to let go. Because here's the thing, comedy is cultural. Comedy is about what you've learned. It's about conditioning. Whereas laughter is universal. So it's quite amazing to see. So that's my dream, is to have an audience where we do some laughter yoga, almost like a warm-up. And then I do a thing, because although we as laughter yogis will say we don't rely on jokes or comedy, it's not that we're opposed to them. As you would have seen on my Insta, I often come up with corkers, you know. And the more you laugh, the more you laugh. So
yeah, 100%.
you start finding
absolutely.
things more funny, and you start enjoying things. It was so funny the other day. I was eating some beetroot and I spilt it. I was wearing a white blouse and there was like this bit, and I was like, oh, and I tried to dab it. Eventually, Alex, I had this like purple top because, and I was like, you'd normally get stressed. Instead, I was like, ha.
You said that. I find myself walking about my place, and I am so clumsy sometimes, especially if I'm tired.
Yes.
And see the stupid things I do, and you're a stupid. And then you go, right now, why don't stop talking to yourself like that? And then you have to start laughing.
I love that.
It's like, how do I get through this?
How do I survive myself?
Yeah.
But Alex, I love that mindfulness that you brought there to yourself, about speaking more kindly to yourself.
Absolutely.
So important. And, we've got a sweet exercise where we'll go, my mistake. So you just stick up your thumbs and then point them and go, my mistake. And that's a beautiful exercise because, when we make mistakes, we normally feel shame. And so I love that you recognized you didn't need to keep speaking badly to yourself. And of course, guilt, shame, these are really low energy feelings. They are judgments that we and society put on ourselves. So some people, I'll say this, some people come into a session feeling embarrassed or awkward or uncertain or cynical or critical, and I know straight away it's a judgment that they're making. They don't want to feel uncomfortable or excluded. And that's why I say that this is a laughter that is wrapped in kindness, because we're not laughing at someone, we're laughing with each other, and it's uplifting. So it's not hurtful laughter, because Alex, would you agree, when somebody laughs at you, it's so painful?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and actually, what triggered in my mind there was, like being laughed at school and stuff, because it comes from a very young age. So you're reprogramming your mind then what your thoughts are towards the laughing.
Exactly.
So that's a great exercise to do then. Laughter yoga, obviously, because you're retraining your brain, the association that you have sometimes with laughing,
And then right next to that is that feeling of, when people are laughing, but you're excluded from it. So they're not laughing at you, but they're laughing with each other. So again, that feeling of exclusion that really hurts us. So I love the way laughter yoga helps us, like you said, reset the uncomfortable laughter, the painful laughter, and gives us true happy laughter that's healing, that's cathartic. And sometimes we'll have people who laugh and start crying. I'm sure that's happened to you before. In the same way that you can, and so it's going beyond language. And it's allowing us to just let go in a cathartic way, let go of that stress. You don't have to name what it is. You don't have to claim where it came from. And sometimes that's okay too. We can let it go.
Listen, thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Pleasure.
Is there anything else you'd like to say just before we go?
Well, I want you to pick your card. So pick a card. I'll have these cards at Happy Face, by the way. You can buy them. They're £38. So pick a card between 1 and 40, and let's see what number works for you.
Okay, I'm going to go 14.
14, okay. So I'm going through the cards, okay, to number 14. Oh, this is beautiful. This is appreciation laughter. Isn't that sweet? So I appreciate you. So I'll teach you this example. So when we say I appreciate you, make your hand like this. I appreciate you. Or we can say thumbs up. I really like that. But look what we can do. We can have the two together. And then swap. I appreciate you, Alex. I really appreciate you.
I've been able to come on here and do that live. That was great.
Wonderful.
I will see you at Happy Fest.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
What are you going to be doing there? Have you got your own stand as well?
Yes, I've got my stand. I'll have the laughter cards because there's so much fun. And I'm also doing the Bollywood laughter yoga dance.
Oh, wow.
It is so much fun, and everybody can do it. It is Class. You'll love it.
Amazing. Class. I can't wait to see you there. Thank you so much. Have a
Thank
great
you.
day.
You too.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us.
Thank you. Bye.